A campaign called Birds Are Not Real brings its efforts to the Mid-South.
And this morning, we are joined by one of the messengers of the movement, Peter McIndoe.
Welcome to WatchMojo, and today we're exploring our top 10 facts about the Birds Aren't Real movement.
The reason we've gathered today is because of a tragedy. A legitimate tragedy of 12 billion lost lives of real organic birds taken away by the United States government.
For this list, we'll be looking at some real facts about this coordinated group action and some fake facts to see if you can spot what's true and what isn't. If you know more about Birds Aren't Real and think we missed a vital point, please write about it in the comments section. Number 10, the group's purpose.
So what point are you trying to make here? I mean, and why did this movement come about and how?
The group claims that birds aren't real. What does that mean? According to the Birds Aren't Real website, no species of living birds still exist in the United States. They were killed and replaced with surveillance drones starting in the mid-20th century, an act that continued until the turn of the next.
Thanks, Jim.
Don't thank me.
I'm not thinking that thing.
His name is Redwing.
I'm still not thinking it.
He's cute. Go ahead, pet him.
How? Airplanes dropped poison on them, which gave them a deadly bird-only virus. That part is a little vague. However, it is stated that President John F. Kennedy was killed by the CIA because he wanted to stop the bird-killing operation. Also, bird robots were the real reason the U.S. invaded Vietnam. As such, the movement's goal is to spread awareness about what happened and what's going on. How do they know all this? We'll get to that in the next segment.
So what do you have to back that up?
To back that up, I have as much evidence as the birds have provided.
Number 9, the evidence they have collected.
Well, they were replaced with fake birds. They were electronic decoys. They could watch people without them knowing it.
So what makes Birds Aren't Real members believe that birds are actually government drones used to spy on U.S. citizens? In the 1970s, one brave man who had worked on the bird-killing project managed to escape. He knew the government would hunt him down, but before he disappeared, he managed to share his information on the program with a young activist, and thus the movement was born.
It was believed at the time that it wouldn't be safe if the general public knew what was happening.
Okay. You just mentioned evidence. What kinds of evidence are you talking about?
Footage of massive rallies supporting the movement between the 70s and 90s, as well as recordings and documents implying that the United States government secretly carried out this bird drone project exist. Though obviously, many have been confiscated by the FBI and government agencies. In fact, oddly enough, it seems no videos or photographs from any pre-2017 Birds Aren't Real rallies have survived at all.
May I have your attention, please? The City of New York would like to thank you for participating in our drill.
Number 8, Poultrygate.
What are you doing? She's disabling security protocols and dumping all the secrets onto the internet.
Poultrygate refers to an event from 2021 when an anonymous Birds Aren't Real agent in the White House released certain emails between government officials and celebrities, including a member of the U.S. Senate and the host of a home improvement reality series. They discuss hollowing out a mountain to create bird drone factories. BAR claims that many government officials and wealthy civilians are involved in this, and that most of them are ornithophiles, or people who really love birds.
I want my bird.
A bird? You want a bird?
I want my bird.
I can get you a bird, I can get you 10 birds.
If that's the case, though, then why do they support a project that killed real birds and replaced them with robots? Well, the robots are extremely lifelike, indistinguishable from true birds in almost every way. They even excrete, which, as we'll see next, is all part of the nefarious plot.
Voice key incorrect.
Wait a second.
Number 7, the truth about bird poop.
A lot of people ask the question, well, hey, what about bird poop, right? My question to you is, have you ever seen battery corrosion?
Bird feces can be a nuisance, especially if it lands on your house, your car, or you. But according to Birds Aren't Real, the purpose of the poop is far more sinister than that. They claim that the bird drones excrete waste for a purpose. The government has included tracking liquid in the synthetic dung, which often lands on cars and therefore enables government officials to monitor where people are going.
Oh, hey, thanks for sharing.
BAR recommends cleaning your car regularly to prevent this. Though it may sound bizarre, the reasoning makes some sense. Aside from rather excessive concerns of realism, why would robot birds have to excrete at all? Unless, of course, these bodily functions somehow helped the people behind them.
Darn right. Sick and tired of raking leaves and hosing bird poop off our car and seeing that weird face in the bark that follows you wherever you go.
Number 6, a statement for the birds.
This is so great. Pigeons can be found in every major city around the world, and no one notices them. It's the most perfect form a spy could take.
So what should you do if you find yourself face to face with a bird that you think might be a government spy? Thankfully, Birds Aren't Real has the answer. They recommend using the following statement with a confident manner. I know your secret. I know that you are a surveillance drone in disguise. I know that behind those beady eyes are cameras, soaking up data and sending it to the Pentagon. I am onto you. I know you are not real. This not only lets the government know you're onto them, but also puts you in a position of power by reminding both the bird and yourself that it is a mere robot, while you are a human being.
When he came to allocate a scientific name to this bird, called it woohoo, Paradisia apoda.
Number 5, the reveal.
This is a satirical campaign to make the point that what? You're looking at me like, no, it's not satire. I really do believe this.
Okay, we've been fooling around with you long enough. It's time to admit the truth. Birds are real, and the Birds Aren't Real organization is not, in fact, seriously intended. For 4 years, no one knew for sure whether members of the group truly believed the message they were spreading. They always claimed to be sincere, particularly the founder of the movement, Peter McIndoe.
Started posting videos, got out there in the world, got in touch with some other bird truthers, and the movement grew.
However, McIndoe finally sat down with the New York Times at the end of 2021 and admitted that Birds Aren't Real is a satire. He founded it at the start of Donald Trump's presidency during a time when there were many conspiracy theories and blatant lies being taken seriously by the public.
Or everywhere you go is an opportunity for activism, you know? So Eric's been putting up flyers, it's been great.
Number 4, BAR begins.
The urgency overcame me, so I went to my closet, grabbed my activism gear, and set out to face the sheeple with the truth where they can't avoid it. Rush hour traffic.
In early 2017, Peter McIndoe went to visit some friends in Memphis, Tennessee. Donald Trump had just been inaugurated, and there was a march for women's rights going on. McIndoe saw some Trump advocates counter-protesting, and their claims seemed so absurd that he decided to develop his own conspiracy theory. He started walking around and telling people that the government had killed off real birds in the US and replaced them with drones. He didn't realize it then, but someone was filming him on a cell phone. The video soon became a hit on Facebook, especially with young adults from the South. Without intending to, McIndoe had started a revolution, and when he saw what had happened, he decided to run with it.
You filming me doesn't scare me, the birds do that to me every day anyway! Make love, not birds!
What are you doing?
Spreading the feathered gospel, man.
Number 3, Birds Aren't Real merchandise.
But in the end, you just have to put it on the shelf. We have a movement to run here.
Like any savvy political leader, Peter McIndoe's campaign needs finances, and this is gathered primarily through merchandising. Soon after his first video was posted on Facebook, Birds Aren't Real graffiti and stickers started popping up throughout the southern US. As McIndoe began putting more time and effort into the organization, even going so far as to hiring an actor to play the ex-CIA agent for his video, he also created the Birds Aren't Real online store. The store primarily sells apparel and stickers, and usually brings in a few $1,000s monthly. McIndoe is pretty open about where the money goes. Along with keeping Birds Aren't Real running, it also covers his living expenses so he can work on the group full-time.
The person next to you, tell them one thing. You will be in a history book.
Number 2, the real purpose of the group. You might be wondering, if Birds Aren't Real isn't serious, then what's the point of it? The group's founder, Peter McIndoe, grew up in very insular communities in both Cincinnati and Arkansas. As he grew older and began to learn about other points of view, he began to realize that what he'd been told most of his life wasn't necessarily the only way to see things. And when he began Birds Aren't Real, he found that many other young people, most in the age group labeled Generation Z, felt the same way.
Would you guys like to convert to bird trutherism today? It's just a simple phrase that we can all say together, and then you'll be bird truthers.
In this strange new world of alternative facts, fake news, and rampant misinformation, they felt a need for something more. A conspiracy theory so ridiculous that it was fun, and one that might even make people think harder about their beliefs.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1. Why this is scary.
If this is any testament to what this year holds, what these rallies will do, I can see us, leading a group of 1 million people.
So what's the main takeaway from all of this? Well, we don't want to use the word crazy here because it actually carries a lot of negative connotations. But the support this movement gained is terrifying and definitely something to think about. Sometimes people want to believe something so much that they will ignore any evidence, no matter how overwhelming, that implies their belief is false. Even the fact that for 4 years no one was sure whether birds aren't real was a serious conspiracy group or not shows something about the state of information in the world today. But there's hope. If some people are resilient enough to take a scary situation and turn it into a humorous one, to create something new that gets others to laugh and think, then perhaps we can all learn from them. So take care out there, and remember, the birds are watching.
And sooner or later, I'm just surrounded by bird truthers everywhere. It was beautiful. One of the most beautiful moments of my entire life. I'm dead serious.
Do you agree with our picks? Check out this other recent clip from WatchMojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.